Welcome to Let's Talk Battle Rap Podcast, where we thumbs down the broads you tongue down. My name is Vlad. I am your host, and my main man, France, is the co-captain of the ship. And tonight we will be doing our reviews for Kings versus Queens 4 from the URL Cartel. As always, log on to letstalkbattlerap.com for all our latest articles and reviews and latest content. And if you want to stay up to date with the most instant and latest stats, facts, and battle rap tidbits, follow us at LTBR Podcast on all platforms. And as always, if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Wherever you're listening to this too, follow us on all your DSPs. And with no further ado, France, man, let's get straight to the business, player.
Right, man. We're here fresh off of Kings and Queens for a weekend. Every time I have a battle rap event on a Sunday, it always feels it's a little off. Everything is normal. Like I'm not used to these Sundays events. I'm used to Saturday events. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody listening to this, if you listen to this on Tuesday, probably Tuesday morning, recap article will be out. So you got to go ahead and check out the recap article, Kings and Queens. Let's talk battleup.com. We had Tata, our staff reporter, and Titus, staff writer, in the building. And they told me the building was more packed out than the redemption card, and it was very cloudy and jam-packed with energy.
Everybody looked like they had a good time, man. Like, that's the thing. Whenever you're in the building, it's hard to have a bad time. Like, the event has to just completely fall apart for you to have a terrible time in person. So it's like, that's why we're going to have two ratings, in the building rating and, the caffeine, I can't even say free stream, the caffeine pay-per-view rating. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time we got to go behind a caffeine paywall. You know what I mean? Everybody dropped that quota. I've seen a lot of people out there pocket watching going, there's 1 million people watching at $25 a pop. URL make 25 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, it don't work that way, but good try though.
I'm just going to address this for those people. Like, for months, you guys have been saying the view count, the clicker count, the impression count under caffeine is not real, right? You've been saying it's
real. It's real. Yesterday, right?
I've been saying it's fake for the longest, and then now I use that same number that you've called fake to be the base of your pocket watching theatrics, where it's
they made $25 million.
Like, come on, man! Like, I couldn't put the common sense together to get a real guesstimate. There's nobody. All of you guys on Twitter, have you not realized there's a view count on the tweet? It's not so much of a view count, guys. Go check your analytics. Call it an impression. An impression just represents the number of people that this piece of content has been shown to. And again, all these caffeine videos are embedded on World Star, All Hip Hop, BET, a couple other websites, you know what I'm saying? And because you put those on those high traffic websites, all it takes is somebody to click it, scroll, and see a caffeine video. You ain't got to watch it. And the views go up.
Your man Daylight goes, man, my next contract better say 4 million. I'm not doing it.
It's funny from him. It's funny from him. But everybody else, just leave it alone. Everybody else leave it alone.
Pocket watching at its finest, boy.
Yeah, man. I hope we can put that to rest. Views and impressions are not the same things. Please check your social media analytics. Go check Google and realize the difference between the two. But with that being said, though, you know what I mean? You can definitely say it was at least a couple, maybe I'll say 2,000 people in there for sure, just from the votings, because a lot of the votes was in between like 1,600 to like 2,000 when you totaled it up or so, give or take.
But you know what, though? You can't really just say that, because I've never voted on a battle ever. Like, ever. I've never even hit a reaction.
No,
I've hit
you're
an
right.
Accident. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, but that's a better guesstimate than the impression number. You could at least account for there being that many people.
Right. There's like, definitely that many people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, that's your
worst case scenario. That's the floor. Exactly. Yeah.
That's where you start. Not with this. Come on.
Yo, dudes was, but you could tell that you could see the hater blood though, like the thought of them making 25 million, right? On one thing, like, I know people are joking and stuff like that to some extent, but the thought of them even making 10 million, 5 million, a million on the stream. It's like you could see like the hate starting to happen. And it's like,
There's
wow,
people.
if
There's
they did, why wouldn't you want them to? Like, why would you be so mad? You don't think they would try to at least reinvest it, break the rappers off some more or
right.
something like that, or try to give the fans back something if they came up on a lick like that, you know what I mean?
Listen,
Well, and it's also split with cat, it's
I'm not gonna
caffeine strain, you know what I'm
I'm not gonna go as far as to call those people media members because they're not credible.
saying?
I'm gonna call them content creators. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so a handful of these content creators are on your social media and they're complaining all about the price and view count and not talking about any of the battles. It's like, well,
Mm,
what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Like, keep your pessimism somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, this moment in time, my efforts is trying to like watch these battles, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
There's war going on outside, all right, and Suge ain't safe right now. I need to watch what's going on. Like,
And to that one guy, drop the tapes.
yeah,
Buddy, drop the tapes. All right. Everybody's waiting to hear that audio. Where that though? So he don't get no light over here. We don't say no names, but drop the tapes. We all waiting for it.
in the words of Tay Rock, there is no audio.
It's at
Words of
Fred's house.
Words of Tay Rock. But
Mm.
Kings and Queens 4. I'll be honest, Vlad. I always find something to enjoy from these battles. Doesn't Even if the battles aren't the best back and forth battles, I can appreciate individual performances. Of
Yeah.
course, we're going to create content off this all the time, right? Our show, the roulette, the article. It gives us tons of news for the next 72 hours. Like, uh, it fulfills the purpose of what LTBR is, and it gives me joy to bring back to the people. But as far as quality, I do think this is probably, if I have to rank the four kings and queens, I might rank this one fourth.
Mm. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it 100% honest with you, man. Like, having two kids now, man, I can't even remember like what order I would put them in. Right now, my brain only knows two things: what can keep me alive and what can kill me. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is just like whatever. It doesn't really matter. I can tell you how I felt about last night's event though, and the rating that I would give it. I'd give it like a 6.5. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a little bit higher if one superstar would have shown up. You know what I'm saying? It definitely could have pushed it to like a 7 or maybe a little bit higher than that. But all in all, there's definitely redeeming qualities from all battles except for like one battle that just kind of just left me like, it was very ashy, man. It was just a very dry battle. You know what I'm saying, man? Get the lotion for that battle. We will talk about that later. But, you know what I mean? But we are going to go in order, though, and talk about how the night went. You know what I mean? Starting off with Shooney versus Shug. Your impressions of that battle, player.
Hey, hold on, man. The night actually didn't even start there. The night started when
Oh, yeah.
the night started when I went on wish.com to order Jay Black as a commentator, and then Jay Mills showed up.
Yo, listen, man. I seen a lot of people cracking jokes on my man Mills, but Millsy was actually, he was dapper. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
oh, what do you want him to wear? An Italian cut suit, and then y'all gonna crack jokes on him even more. He wore the appropriate size for him. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
he couldn't go the other direction. He would look crazy if he went the other direction. You know what I'm saying? He got the suit that fit the right size for him. He looked clean. Shape up was proper. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie to you, as far as commentary work, he did fairly well for his first time out. He did good, man, because we've seen people who've done this, multiple times not do as well as he's done, So shout out to Jay Mills, man. I definitely thought he did his thing. I was not expecting to see him. I was like, it was going on. Well, I think Black did the face off. I was like, well, what's happening right now, But he held his
All
own. I
right.
wish there was a third microphone though. Like, what was going on with that?
Yeah,
Shout
Nunu
out to
being
no.
Nunu being the Statue of Liberty to help Jay Mills speak was something I wouldn't have liked. I would have loved the third microphone. But
Hey,
I saw an uproar of a lot of the rappers on the timeline. Like, Jay Mills can't critique us. Like, and this is not me. This is the rappers. This is like Averb, John, a couple others. They're like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, hold up, man. Jay
nah,
Mills
nah.
cannot critique us.
He
And
can, man. He can. I mean, you know, like,
and
listen,
that's what
we're sitting here critiquing these rappers,
that's what
and
I
we're
was
not
saying.
rappers. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I was saying. I've always disliked when rappers act like people that are not rappers can't critique them. But if somebody is a rapper and at least have gone through the preparation, gone on the stage, and suffered the embarrassment that Jay Mills has suffered from some of these performances, I could at least say, "Damn, he been through some shit that I could at least say none of us have been through." I'm here to listen to it.
And listen, man, and he's had his time where he was, I mean, he's still a legend, but at one point in time, he was a living legend in this game. And that's something you could never erase. He's a lot of people's first memory of what battle rap is. You turn on that MTV, it was him versus Ness and Jay Mills going crazy. It was him versus Castro, which was a lot of people's first battles. And him versus Mook is even more people's first battle. So it's like, you can't take that away from him. And, you know, man, keeping a legend in the game, keeping him around. He still wants to participate in the sport. Man, let him live, man. Let him live. Mills did good, man. I wouldn't mind
I,
seeing
I
him back.
I would think that he's at least a little bit more qualified to be there than somebody that doesn't perform at least.
Absolutely.
I,
Absolutely.
I would think so, but I'll tell you what, the space wasn't trying to hear that. Okay, I put that devil's advocate on the radio roulette. They was not trying to hear it. All right.
No, man. People just hating, man. Mills did all right.
Yeah, he didn't. He did all right, man. But J Mills, J Black, and Nunu on the commentary team.
Oh, no, no, no.
I think at one point they definitely were prolonged longer than they expected because you can see Nunu turn to both of them. She's like, "I'm fighting for my life right now," and I know what that means. I know that's just them keeping the show rolling. And
Yo,
Vince is
that is not easy, man. Like, you know, for us sitting at home, yo, let me tell you, friends, I have not looked at the comments in like forever. I was actually reading some of the comments last night, man. Yo, the comment section is ruthless, kid.
comment section
Like,
is hell, bro.
I mean, it was all sorts of like Fupa this, Fupa that. Jay Mills looks like a Nino Brown, New Jack
Tim, like
City
like Tim Duncan
extra.
getting
Like,
drafted, like all types.
I'm like, come on, man. It was not a Tim Duncan esque suit. Yo, I was around for that era. They actually, from those suits did not, if those suits look like that, you'd have to give them props. But I'm like, the Tim era, that was nasty work, man. I mean, even up to LeBron's era, them suits was nasty work. Everybody looked like a pastor, like a reformed drug dealing pastor. But nah, man, Jay Mills look better than that, man. Don't do my man dirty like that, yo.
Right. No,
The
listen,
nasty
I
work.
agree.
Tim
I
Duncan
agree.
suits.
And then so they set it off and they let us know that Shooney and Suge will be hitting the stage first. Thought it was
Yeah.
interesting because in the face off they definitely alluded to going first. They're like, I want to go first. I want to go first, and that made me feel like they were very anxious and somebody wasn't all the way prepared. And then I text you prior to the battle starting. I was like, yeah, I feel like somebody's not prepared, and I think it's Suge. And you're like, you negative Nancy.
Yeah, but everyone, France definitely cursed Suge's performance yesterday, you know what I'm saying, by sending out that tweet. So the Suge in France, you know, bromance continues now. You know what I mean? Suge has something else to throw in France, pause. And but I did realize something yesterday when Shooney was like, "You ready to go right now?" She was like, give me 10 minutes and I'll be ready to go." And Shooney was like, "I'm ready to go right now." And I was like, "Oh man, I don't know about this, Suge." And the way that they stepped out there onto that stage, Shooney's energy looked ready, man. And Suge ain't look quite as ready. Like he looked like, you know, like he ain't look like he was all the way locked in. And then you sent me that text, and I was like, "Oh, brother, I know what's fitting to happen, man. I know what's fitting to happen." And let's get into it, player.
Shooney sets it off. She goes first, and she's on one. You know what I'm saying? Like it took. I thought the beginning of her first round was solid, and she just kept giving us solid punchlines, solid haymakers, a lot of sugar flips. Much
Yeah.
I was counting them. I was a solid 4 or 5 sugar flips. You know what I'm saying? They could have laid off some of the sugar, but I definitely was thinking to myself, definitely was thinking to myself, like, oh, she's having like a crescendo going on right now, where she is like
Hmm.
continuously earning momentum. There's people that like build it for themselves purposely, and then there's people that earn it, where it's
Yeah.
like I'm giving you punches that are like a consistent 7 to 8 out of 10, and to the point where like I've given you so many 7 to 8s that when I land another 7 or 8, you're gonna feel like it's a 9 or 10 because I give you so many 7 to 8s. And I felt like that was going on with Shooney. There was a lot of confidence being displayed. I think she had one moment where it almost looked like she slipped up, but it was
I
just like
got
she,
nervous, bro.
you know,
I got nervous, man.
yeah. Then shots to them water breaks. That water break definitely got her right back on track.
Get that water shoe.
Get that water, Shooney, and then shit
Shout
goes.
out to Three Letter Man.
Yeah, big shots to three. Shit goes, and his pace was just a little too rampant for my liking. Like it was like
Now when he started off, I was like, okay, Shook, yeah. And then he hit that pocket, and then he like had a brain fart. You know what I'm saying? And then he had to try to get it back, and it took a little second to get back on track. And then from there, it was like he was still aggressive, but it's like with Suge, once he loses that train of thought, or once he has like a slip up or something like that, it really affects them. Some people are able to just shake it off and go right back into it, and other people it takes a little second to get back. And that definitely was the case for Suge, but he was still, you know what I'm saying, trying to go hard and stuff. But by that point, it was like he had a couple of them, and by that point, it's like, well, looks like Shooney's up 1-0. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what, she was clean, she was good, she was consistent. And with Suge having those couple of little mishaps right there, even though his content was good, don't get me wrong, but it was just like, yeah, Shooney's up 1-0 right now.
yeah, I wanted to get to that. I really liked a lot of his bars, man. That shoe talking, open her soul up bar was
Yeah.
fire. I think in the second round he had that I beat a bitch so bad they gonna have to give Ike Turner a new stereotype. like like pen
Oh
wise, like
man.
Suge was there. Material wise, Suge was there. The pacing was off, and I'm glad you described that because unfortunately the Sheed battle isn't out yet. And part of that battle they had a dead crowd because it was day 2 of like a long weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But there were moments in that battle where I felt like he was going too fast, and he finally found some momentum and then slowed it down and got back to what
Well, after his
his
first round, he's talking to Mills and his manager Mills, and I'm going, I was going too fast. I was going too
yeah,
fast. I was
you can
going too
hear that.
fast.
You can hear him
I
say
was
that.
well, slow your ass down, bro. I mean,
So
but yo,
Sheena gets a nice comfortable lead.
yeah, Shooney's round 2, boy. Talking about the angle shoe. Oh man, kid. When she got, that kid slididade and was telling Show what kind of real N-word would battle a snitch and this and that. And then she was like, if I would have battled him, you know what I would have said to him? Nothing, because I wouldn't have. And, she broke the building with that one. And it was like such a fantastic like way to go about that topic. You know what I mean? And just like cause a little separation there. And it was just like, wow. Okay, Shooney. And she was definitely in full control of her material too, which definitely
Right.
made it like, hold up, wait. I really thought like if there was any battle that I thought was gonna be clear, was gonna be this one, because I felt like, all right, man, you got Shooney fresh off of Chrome 23, where she had good material, you know what I'm saying? Like she showed up with stuff, but man, every round was just stumbling and trying to get through it and stuff. And I'm like, wow, back to back big rooms, Kings versus Queens, the lights are on, and I'm Suge's been on a roll. I'm just like, all right, man, Shooney's definitely gonna mess up in one of these rounds or a couple of them, and that's gonna automatically have Suge winning because Suge's trying to go for Cody again, and he's been killing everybody and stuff like that, and he just battled in his building versus Slade and did his thing, and Shooney was in full command of her material and stuff. I gotta say, I'm very proud of her, man, and a little surprised, you know what I'm saying, but pleasantly surprised though, and that second round angle, along with all her bars and stuff like that, was just moi bravissimo. You know what I'm saying? On point, shoot.
No,
Like
listen.
Stacey Adams, boy. That's her new
Yeah,
nickname, Stacey Adams.
I got to give Suge credit because I still feel like, although some of the deficiencies in his performance was just off of like pacing, material wise, he was still there. He never stopped giving effort, even when he felt like he was down the scoreboards. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're down in the fourth quarter a significant amount when there's not enough time left for you to, fight back this deficit. It's insurmountable, but you still keep fighting. Suge did that. His third round definitely kept fighting back. And then Shooney's kind of being a little condescending, like, it's good, but it's just too late.
It was like
It's too
Jadakiss, it's
late.
good, just not good enough.
It's just good. It's just too late. Like she's smiling because she's like, oh,
Oh,
I
she
know
knew it, man.
I
Yeah.
knew I just won this battle, and no matter how good you're doing now, it's not gonna change the outcome. And
And
to Suge's
there's
credit,
always go ahead.
no,
No, go ahead, play. No, go ahead, play.
I was just gonna say to Shik's credit, I really did admire him not just like giving up. And again, shouts to his material. His material was good. Material was good. Shooting material was great.
There's a couple of telltale signs though. When Sugar's standing there picking at his nails and trying to get his cuticles right while Shooney's rapping, I'm like, I don't think he's
Yeah,
100% locked
he de-
in like
def-
that.
he
You know
definitely
what I'm
definitely had some moments where his eyes was closed and he was like in rehearsal mode versus performance mode. You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Picking through his nails, man, filing
Well,
down them cuticles. I'm like, all I needed to see was start biting his nails, and I'm like, oh boy,
he
good
said
luck
the
with
king.
this third.
He said the Kings are gonna go 5-0. Made up the news quote, and
Well,
you see how that went. And then,
well, Gargamel, ain't go that way.
hey, listen, man. The timeline was giving him hell. Easy's dragging him on the timeline.
Oh man, that's all the
everybody's
ammo he needed, boy.
everybody's quote tweeting the news quote about him saying we're gonna go 5-0.
Yeah, you tweeted. Talking about everybody. It's me. I'm everybody. Fast
Hey,
forward 11 months from now, I know that friends don't like me. Oh man, I got the most interesting. It's hilarious, man.
I do got some dope quotes from Shooney in regards to her performance.
Okay.
She said here she wants to publicly send a thank you to Charlie Clips for telling her to tap into her greatest form and that she is amazing.
No, I wish Clips would have took his own advice.
Oh boy.
Hey, we gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that, don't you? We ain't forget about you.
Oh,
Shouts
why
to
can't
Shooney.
we?
She puts she puts the Queens up on the board 1-0. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
She
followed on
earned
that,
that. She earned that.
it was a very good 1-0.
She earned that.
Great start to the series. Then in game two, second battle. uh,
Game 2.
KCJ and DNA takes the stage.
Oh
And
man.
this is the battle we've been waiting for. You know what I mean? I was very excited to see how does DNA meet the voodoo master. This Casey's voodoo streak continues, and Casey's first round, some dope punches, but boy, the exhaust pipe hit real soon, and the engine just like the engine just lost a bit of focus, right? Like the breath control was like really
Boy,
staggering. It's
the
like,
birth
whoa.
control was birth control was terrible, son.
Yeah, it was not
Like
good. It was not good in the first.
the second or the third, man. Like she was gasping for air. I thought they was in Denver or something like that. I was like,
It was. I think it was
what's
visibly
happening
worse.
right now?
It was visibly the worst in the first because it was like, yo, I felt like you couldn't really get into any momentum. At least her second round, like she definitely found herself in momentum again and was really fighting back. And even through the bad breath control, like efforts being shown. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
absolutely. She gave one thing I can say is that she gave 100% full effort. She left it all out there. You know what I'm saying? She didn't half-ass any of the performance. And I didn't know if she was just just either too hyped or if it was something that was physical or something like that, or was there too much
Combination.
smoke around her or something like that, or a combination. Who
Combination.
knows? You know what I mean? Like, so, but it was just like, it was definitely something that was very, very visible. And I was like, wow, okay. But, first round, quality round. She had her punches, she had her DNA attacks. All right, cool, cool. Okay, but I'm like, this is definitely beatable. And boy, DNA's first round was like, you thought it was like reminiscent, flashing back to like that JC first round or something, man. DNA is like, listen, man, I am not losing this battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going home with an L. No, sorry, Bob. No, thank you. This is not going to be another Vixen type battle where people are going to even get a chance to say that I lost. And there was a time where DNA put the guns down and picked the books up. You know what I'm saying? And he was conscious DNA and was like, I'm gonna leave the guns alone. And for this one, he was like, man, bring me the bag of guns, please. I need the AKs, SKs, 38s, 9 mils, the 12 gauge, the Mac 11s, the Mac 10s, the 223s. And I was like, the 911s. And I was like, DNA was not playing, man. And he even found times to make what would be embarrassing for most people into like the highlight of his round. He slipped on some water, almost tore his ACL and did a James Brown split, came right back up, turned that into a freestyle about how him sliding on Casey made him do the electric slide, tore the building in half, you know what I'm saying? And they kept bombing and stuff like that. The first round was it was too much, man. That was clear. DNA just like, that's my round. Like, there's nothing you can say about this, man. That belongs to me.
Hey, I did like that. How do you stop a voodoo doll? A pin. That ball was tough.
Yeah, that
You know
was
what I
tough.
mean? And only DNA is the type of person that could slip on water in that stage and then get up and make a whole mid-round rebuttal about him falling. Like,
Yeah,
sometimes this is one thing about KCJ. Like in all her battles, Vlad. Sometimes she just stands in front of that round of somebody just putting her in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, like just straight like grabbing the shovel and it's like, oh, I'm gonna bury you this round. You know what I'm saying? And she claws her way back out that hole sometimes. You know what I'm saying? DNA had a very very commanding lead to the battle after the first round.
yeah,
And Casey's fighting back in that second round, boy. In fact,
yeah. I mean, she never stopped fighting, man.
her material was definitely better in the second round too. I was impressed.
Good material, man. Good material. Like I said, I got to keep it all the way 100. It was good material, but it was never anything that was like amazing. You know what I'm saying? It was like, all right, this is solid. This is good. Great delivery. She's very intense. She's very upfront with DNA, and she's not afraid to attack him. She's not afraid to invade his personal space and all that. And she's got her bars. She's got her one-liners. But it's like you never felt like, oh my. In the Arsenal battle, in that third, I felt like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like another level where I'm like, Arsenal's gonna have to reach into his bag to like really beat this round. You know what I'm saying? At no point did I feel like in any of her rounds was it like, man, I don't know how DNA is gonna top this. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, man, we just gotta see what DNA comes with, man. And I just felt like for the next two rounds, he just, he did better than her. He does what DNA does. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like his first round, but it was still like head and shoulders better than what Casey was doing. And like I predicted, man, he was not. He was gonna do whatever he needed to do to win this damn battle. You know what I'm saying? And he did just that, yo.
Yeah, no doubt. DNA knows how to win battles. Always knows how to secure that self for him. Um, I personally felt like it was definitely one of the better back and forths of the night, if not the
It
best
was
back
the
and
best
forth
back and
match.
forth of the night, actually. It was the most competitive battle and the best back and forth. Even though I'm saying that I didn't feel like Casey's bars at any point was like clearly like threatening to DNA, but it definitely was the most competitive battle. It was definitely entertaining. She kept me captivated throughout her rounds and stuff like that. Like, she did a great job. You know what I mean? Like, it was just DNA was just better, but it's nothing for her to go home hanging her head about or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like she
I
gave it
agree.
her
I
all. She gave it her
100%
all.
agree.
He was just, better that night, but competitive battle, best back and forth of the evening, entertaining. So, she can definitely go home with her head held high and say, hey, man, I put in a great effort, against one of the all time best. And he was just the better rapper that night.
Yeah, I concur with all that. That's exactly how I feel. Salute to Casey. Real good performance from her. More importantly, salute to DNA for having to get to that level as well. You know what I'm saying? Because that lets you know how serious he's taking every single opponent is in front of him, and I'm sure it has to feel good if you're Casey. Like, oh, I made DNA get back in his DNA bag to to get this W.
He did not want to take another loss to a woman, yo. How you gonna go on breakfast with the champ? Like out there, you know what I'm saying? Like champ would have took a week off, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Came back when some controversy popped up. You're like, oh, ain't gonna be asking me about that battle no more. You know what I'm saying? So salute to the champ, yo.
Yeah, saying salute to DNA, man. And then he evens the series at that point in the night. We're 1-1.
Yeah.
Kings and Queens are 1-1. You know what I'm saying? And then the next battle hits the stage. And then we get Coffee Brown versus New Jersey Twork.
Oh boy.
A lot to talk about on this one.
What do you want to talk about first, dog?
I think I want to start with all the people that. All right, I hope this doesn't come off like
Oh,
disrespectful to Coffee because it's not. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, this was Coffee's first time on a big stage. Like, we're asking her a very, very tall assignment to be on. This is your big stage debut. And you're battling arguably one of the
debut.
best big debut, and you're battling arguably one of the best big stage battlers ever. You know what I'm saying? And Twork has been consistent his last 5-6 battles, and now he wants to keep this steamroll of consistency. Like you're asking an assignment that like not many people can handle at that moment from her, right? So at that point, I'm just thinking to myself, if she doesn't get bodied and she does well, like there's definitely something to take away from this. Because at no point I thought she was going to win this battle, but I was very impressed with her second round because her first round, you can visibly see that like a lot of the stuff is not connecting. She probably tried to tailor her material for the big crowd, and she even says it herself in her post-battle interview with 15 minutes of fame. End quote. She says, "I love my material. I thought I dumbed it down. I've always been unorthodox, but I thought them bars was for a big stage. But I'm very happy, and I love the battle." So I think she is like aware that she doesn't fully translate in the way that she would have liked, but she never backed down. Definitely rode uphill because I thought her second round was better than her first. Her third round had peaks, even though it wasn't. The second was still better. Uh, that was my biggest takeaways from Coffee. Now, when we cross the other side of the stage,
Now
boy,
listen, man.
boy,
Talk. Twerk was. I predicted it, man. My predictions ain't always right because it's either gonna be one way or the other. But Twerk, man, he's been locked in. He's been focused. And these two have history. And it was weird because, they said they weren't going to talk about their history. And then they just opened up Pandora's love box, and just put all the goods on the tables. And, we'll get into everything, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, whoa, TMI, you know what I'm saying? But he is just too creative, too dynamic, too explosive, too experienced, too engaging. Like it was too much. Like it got to the point in the third round where the and his rounds were long too. Like you know what I'm saying. He ain't give you he ain't shortchange you. Like he had long rounds and it came to the point in the third round where the crowd was like, man, like stop, like don't leave her alone, leave her alone. And he was like, all right, I'm gonna leave her alone. Then the dudes on the stage was like, no, we need overkill, like kill her. And he was like, yeah, I want me to keep going. And then Coffee it got to the point where she was like, no, like stop, like too much. Like she threw in the towel, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, wow, it was just, it was bananas, man. But going back to Coffee though, like the first round was just, that was the round where she realized like, oh,
It's a little different on this stage.
it's a little different up here. I know that she walked around, that she's been to that venue before. She got on the stage trying to get comfortable, to see what the stage feels like and looks like and all that stuff. But when it's time to deliver them bars, like the first round wasn't hitting at all. You know what I'm saying? And she said something where she dumbed down her material, where she felt like, she dumbed it down to try to give the crowd some more simpler stuff. And it just wasn't it. And I also feel like with her cadence and her voice, like she doesn't really play with her voice. Sometimes she might yell more, but she really doesn't have like octaves. She doesn't use her voice like an instrument much. It's very like, when I tell you I'm gonna get you and I'm gonna mark you out, and like it's the same flow pattern like for 3 rounds. And it's like, all right, sometimes you might yell and get more aggressive with it, but you never deviate from the same flow pattern. You know what I'm saying? And the first round was just not it, man. It just really wasn't hitting. And yeah, technically, I mean, she wrote some, like the bars weren't bad bars. Like I understood them, I got them. I got the connection, I got the figurative language that she was doing and all that stuff. But it was just like, this wasn't it. And then you just got Twork just going bananas, just bombing on you. You know what I'm saying? Just too much, bro.
She did open her second round with a rebuttal. She had the "What are you doing, a rooster?" Schemes. You
Oh
gave a
yeah,
cock back
you
bar.
cock back.
It usually comes with coffee morning. That was tough. Like she
Yeah,
definitely has
morning.
she has some material that I did like. And I want to ask you this because obviously we knew that she had never been on the big stage.
Yeah.
And in our radio roulette, a couple of the rappers that were there was very critical about what she's on, like on a big stage. A lot of the fans in the radio show as well were like, I don't want to see her on a big stage. Like I
Mm.
don't think she did that bad to the point where I'm just like, I don't think she could improve from this. I feel like there is a path for her to like be successful on a big stage. Or
I mean, it's her first time on a big stage. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
you got to give someone another shot at it. Listen, she got heart, because she ain't quit. I mean, she told Twork to quit. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't quit. She kept trying. She kept delivering the bars. Listen, there have been better rappers who have quit before on stages. You know what I'm saying? She didn't choke or anything like that. She definitely, she has some memorable bars where she said, no gag reflex. The only thing I throw up are gang signs. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. You know what I mean? And you know, I give her another shot.
That,
Gotta let her get comfortable up there. Gotta let her try
that's
it
how
again.
that's how I feel. I feel like everybody that was so critical of her on a big stage, like we're doing a little bit too much because it's like this is her first time, and look at the assignment she's standing across from. Like,
I mean,
come on,
if it's criticism in a vacuum, then it's definitely, there's merit to it. You know what I'm saying? If it's just in a vacuum and we're just talking about this battle, yeah, there's merit to what we're critiquing. But does that mean she should never get another shot on a big stage? No, let her try it again. You know what I'm saying?
I want to see her on the big stage with just dial the competition down a little bit. Maybe also pin her against a female on the big stage. Like
Yeah, yeah.
again, this is a big thing I want to emphasize because I feel like this also happened with Next when he battled Twork. Like these
Mm,
are not people that are experienced yet on a big stage, and
right.
you're putting them against this monster. Like there's only so much that they can do at that point. Their only mission at that point is to show you flashes and potential. You know what I'm saying? And I do think Coffee showed some flashes and some potential. Fair.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, she can definitely write. She comes from a poetry background, so you know that there's bars in there. Like if you listen, or if you're just reading what she's saying, yeah, you're gonna find stuff and go. If you're just reading the bars, you're gonna go, why would they not react to this stuff? Like she wrote some decent stuff, you know what I mean? But it's also how you deliver it and when you deliver it, And then I think also too, like you got in the second round where she's denying to have like, slept with Twork, just saying that he just ate the groceries and that was it, what I'm saying? And I'm like, cap, you know what I'm saying? And then in the third round, she's like, what I mean? She basically, she gobbled the gooch and all that and
Nah,
did this and did that, you know what I'm saying? And
nah. In the third round, we reached the horny portion of the night. We were due for it. We were due for some horniness of the night, and Coffee brought it to us. But I'm not going front. In one round, also, she's like, "This guy's a shrimp," and the next round, she's like, "I was riding it," and it's like, all right, so hold on, man,
on
like.
both feet. Oh my, okay. Yo, and she turned Twork into like the coolest dude in the room. She's like, you hit everybody on the card, all the ladies on the card, even me. And I'm like, well, his player card just went through the roof. You know what I'm saying? Like
The smacks like you hit everybody in the card, yeah.
the card, the stage, the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Like this boy's been getting around, man. And then, the Coffee's talking to his lady at home. He's a no good dude and this and that. And I'm like, think she doesn't know this? Like, why do you think she's with him? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else wants him. She wants a piece of him, you know what I'm saying? And they got kids. And then on the other side, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you're talking to his girl, but I'm like, oh, she got a man at home? Like he's got to watch this battle? You know what I'm saying? Like he's at home watching this battle with his boys and she talking about eating his gooch and all that stuff. And like, you go back home to him and like, I'm like, I don't know, France. Would have found a Dear John letter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
shout outs to Battle Rap, the only place where you
shout outs.
in a previous partner can get a bag for talking about your previous activities.
My good. If I'm Coffee's band and I'm watching that battle at home, kid, I'm turning it off, man, and I'm just going for a long walk, yo. Like, come on, man. I'm
Text me
supposed to
when
watch the.
text me when Jazz and Clip starts.
I'm going to the bar. I'm gonna drink this night away. Forget about what I heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's talking crazy, son. Like, but even that was like, that was the highlight. I don't want to say it's the highlight of her rounds, but it's what got the most, crowd reaction. You know what I'm saying? And as a lyricist, it's not what you want to get the most reaction. You know what I'm saying? Like you want the bars that you spend time on, you know what I'm saying? Not just like, your explicit content getting all like Little Kim. Yeah, sure. She's very explicit with a lot of her early material, but she was also like crazy, you know what I'm saying? As like a rapper, like, her similes and the way she delivered everything. And all right, I know the comments gonna be like, well, Biggie wrote a bunch of that stuff, whatever, but she delivered the material fantastic, you know what I'm saying? And that resonated with us, that evoked emotions out of us. And I feel like Coffee has to get into the groove where the material and the content hits the audience differently. And I definitely feel like she's gonna have to play with some of them cadences, man. She's gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, find a way to have them resonate with a big crowd. And I know she felt like dumbing it down was the way, but for some people, you just gotta stay who you are, you know what I'm saying, and rock with that. But you got to try things on that big stage and see what works, and maybe she went a little too far in the other direction or whatever. But give it another shot though. But Twork was, I got nothing bad to say about Twork. He had so many lines, dog. Like
When I put the Addy in my car, even the Ford Focus.
Come on, dog. Like talk about a double. Like, come on, man.
That was perfect.
Talk about a double entendre. That was a crazy, man.
That was perfect. Yeah,
Put
no.
Coffee's face in the pillow. Oh, I'm getting flashbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, for me personally, I'm gonna be honest, Vlad. This is gonna be the third time in a row that we're gonna have Twork as the number one performer in our
yeah,
article after a recap article of these events, and this is just showing me his level of consistency and maturity. Beasley said it when he went to champion, before he talked about all the stuff that we really wanted to hear about. He mentioned Twork, and he says New Jersey Twork is demonstrating another level of maturity that I haven't seen before.
yeah,
And I think that praise went a long way because of how the relationship they have, how long he's been in the league, all the ups and downs he's been through, and where he's at right now. Because like from that real name Brandon battle, it was kind of dark, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Not a lot of people get an opportunity to choke every single round on caffeine, not once, not twice, not three times, but four times. And
Yikes.
right. And not to mention everything prior to that, but he got it together from the Snake Eyes to the Lou Castro battle to the Real Sick battle, all fantastic. Judge wins. ORED as well. Oh, Judge wins. Body all URL round, battle of the year contender, performance of the night. Then you go to the next battle, same ordeal, best performer on the card. And on this card, at least he's the best king. If you want to say Shooney had a better performance, if you're a queen or you just like the Shooney rising above the odds a little bit more, I could respect it. But you could definitely say he was the best king, and you can definitely say he was the best performer on the card.
He was the best on the card, man. Like, it's not pussyfoot around this. He definitely was the
Hey, listen, Tata might be like, it's Shooney. It's Shooney. All right. And who am I to tell her she's wrong, Vlad? Who am I to say that Tata's
Hey
wrong?
man, she can
What?
have her opinion. This is about our opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, say how you feel, man. Say with your chest, homie.
No,
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
no,
Like, Twork was
I'm
the best that
I,
night, bro.
Twerk was listen for me. Twerk was the best that night. I'm just acknowledging that.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Listen, man.
Just acknowledging
Shoonie
this.
was Shoonie did her numbers, man. She definitely did her numbers, but boy, and then, I mean the angles about her being a bad mom and all that stuff, like, and just what I'm saying, man. You on the head, you on the east. What you say? You in the east, giving 3 hours ahead, and your son's waking up in the west. Like, well, come on, man. It was crazy, man, and just talking about her exploits and all that stuff. Like, yo, man, Twork is an underestimated angler. Like, he's angling with these punches also. Like, people are sleeping. Like, the boy is he's putting everything together, yo. And it's only gonna get scarier and scarier. And France, the battle that we all want to see. There's a guy
Yeah.
who's gone 12-0 on the URL app.
Mm.
And right now, him and URL got some issues, and it's kind of skipped town a little bit. I don't know when he'll be back on that platform, if he will. But the guy that went 12-0 in the app and got the million views with the St. Louis Bowl, that's the battle that we all want to see Twork have next. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's stop playing around. Get this Twork versus Easy battle happening, You know what I'm saying?
Twerk versus Easy Part 2 is a battle I need and like. And it's a battle that I need injected into my veins yesterday. All right. And Vlad, let me tell you something happened actually. Shout outs to our girl, Duchess. She invited me over. We got to watch all the battles, Kings and Queens at her
Dutch,
house.
the
You know,
queen.
Queen Dutch. We got to watch it with, her mom, who was a battle rap degenerate, her partner, who was a battle rap degenerate, her partner's daughter. It's a whole family time watching Kings and Queens. But prior to the show, we did a pre-show, quick predictions with the caffeine chat for about 30,
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes. And before we close the stream, we're like, all right, guys, let's ask the chat who do you think is performer of the night. I was personally shocked that a lot of the messages kept coming up like Suge, Clips, Rock, Hustle. Like a lot of names were being said. Twerk's name didn't pop up that frequently. I was kind of shocked by that. But an individual comes into the chat and says, Twerk for performer of the night. And that individual is none other than Mr. Eazy, the block captain.
Oh,
Easy the block
what?
the blockade captain. I captain.
No, I'm look at me. I'm your captain. No.
Listen, when he said that, I was like,
Easy the pirate, boy. That boy went got himself a whole other ship over there, man.
"Hey
He's got his
man,
own ship now, France.
he's got his own ship now."
He's the captain of the Chrome 22 ship. Look
but
at me, Remy. I'm your captain now.
but when
Hustle,
he
get off of my ship, Hustle. I'm the captain now.
yeah when he said that in the chat, I just like
Hmm.
all right.
Hmm. Planting,
Yeah.
planting little seeds there.
Hey, listen, I don't think it'll happen on URL, but you know
Hmm.
what I'm saying. Anwar, you're supposed to be the manager of the year, right?
Player. Anwar, if you can make this battle happen, dog. Listen, man. Flowers to you if you can. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the battle. This is the battle, man. I know we're deviating a little bit, and I know Easy wants the millions of views, and he wants to battle Arsenal, the most viewed ever.
Right.
Listen, Easy man, it's your world, Squirrel. You know what I'm saying, and you've put in the work. You can, battle whoever you want to battle. But if we're talking about the battle that'll be the most competitive battle, the battle that'll be the one that that people will line around the block for again 2 times, the battle that'll sell out the venue plus some and pack them pay-per-views in, and the battle that you have to put in that overtime for. This is the one, man. So Remy, Easy, Anwar, and the good folks at the URL cartel. You know what I'm saying? If y'all could figure out a way to make this happen, the fans will be very thankful and grateful. You know what I'm saying? But Twork's on fire right now, yo. And I'm like, the same way nobody wanted to wait for Hitman and Easy to happen. The way Hitman was like, give me this bowl right now because he's the hottest. This is the battle. Let's make it happen one way or the other.
Yeah. And again, salute to Twork three times
Back
in
to
a
Kings
row.
vs. Queens. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, 3 times in a row, best performer on the card. You gotta tip my hat to that.
Yes, yes.
And
All right.
so now the Kings have a
Oh,
2-1 lead.
brother.
The Kings have a 2-1 lead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And with this 2-1 lead,
Oh,
there's
God.
a chance to clinch the series.
Oh, brother. There's a
Yeah.
chance to pinch the loaf.
Coming up to the stage.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? We got Jazz the Rapper versus Charlie Clips. Make sure you hashtag Kings versus Queen. Hashtag
all that, yo.
hash cash, all that. But Jazz and Charlie Clips takes the stage. And I'm talking to
Yeah.
Titus because Titus in the building, and he messages me and is like, "This is my first time seeing Jazz on a one-on-one solo battle because he's probably seen her in her 2-on-2s." So he's like, "It's my first time seeing Jazz in a solo battle, and
Yeah.
she is living up to all of the hype." And this is her
Round
first round.
one.
Round one.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm watching round one, and I'm like, this is a very focused Jazz. This is a Jazz that realized it's going to require great strategy and high level execution to beat somebody of the caliber of Charlie Clips that can always just find a way to just be a disruptor on the stage, for better or for worse.
A disruptor. He
Clean
was
it, clean,
very disruptive this battle, boy. Oh
clean it
my
up,
God.
clean it up well, Vlad. That's a good one.
Clean it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. First
Yeah.
round, Jazz looked focused. You know what I'm saying? She came out, Dolce and Gabbana dripping. You know what I mean? The face was beat. The install was proper. You know what I'm saying? The edges was on point. Jazz up there looking like something, looking like, yo, you know what I mean? People paying $25. I need to give them something to look at, and I'm gonna come with them bars. And she had that same focus she had what was that last battle she had when she came out super focused? Who she
Vixen?
battled last right? Yeah. Remember when she came out first round, went first, went ham. You could just see the look in her eyes, like she like she was mad, like she just really wanted to just execute this and just stay focused, stay on point. And that was the same look she had. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, okay, all right, Jazz, let's go. Great first round, doing what Jazz does. Charlie Clips, this dude, you know, starts off, rebuttaling the grandmother, angle from Jazz and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. Starting off with some freestyles, cool, nothing wrong with that, nice little rebuttal, but and then, Clips keeps going. Predictable Jazz schemes, all the Jazz names you could think of. If you would have put them in the pot, he would have pulled all of them out and used all of them. And I'm like, okay, I saw this one coming, and I saw that one coming, and then he gets into it with like people in the crowd. Like, he wasn't really getting the reactions he was deserving. Not, let me take that back. He didn't necessarily deserve reactions for his bars, but he wasn't getting reactions that he felt he deserved. You know what I'm saying? Let me clean that one up. And then like he starts talking to this couple and he's dissing the dude's girl and talking about she's gonna be licking up DNA from the stage floor and this and that. And the crowd's just like, boo, man. Like we not trying to hear you talk to this dude and his girl. Like we came to hear bars. Like, and sometimes it works for Clips, and sometimes his best stuff is for people who he's not battling. It's just random people on the stage or a ring card girl or a heckler in the crowd. And this time, those tricks and shenanigans were not working, man. And it got to the point where Clips was like, "Man, F y'all, man." Like, he just ended this round, like cursing out the crowd and just like, oh, how dare they? And I'm like, oh, man, if we got this from Clips from the first round, there's no way he's writing up for the next 2 rounds, man. We've got 2 more rounds of this coming up, man. 2 more rounds of him spitting that. I'll let y'all finish off that that last word. You know what I mean? And then Jazz's second round, dog. Like, France, were you anticipating that type of second from Jazz? Like, what was that, dog?
All I know is, P probably told all those guys, Spanish Harlem, the Gwitty, Benji Lolo, ain't, ain't no URL for you, sir. Benji Lolo said,
"Oh yeah,
oh yeah,
watch this, watch this,
watch this, P. I'm gonna make it onto a URL stage one way or another."
Oh my gosh.
You can't stop the rain.
You can't stop the rain when it starts to fall.
Yeah.
Yo,
there was no stopping Benji Lolo from getting on the stage. But
Black
Vlad,
Jesus.
Let me tell you something, man. I think Benji Lolo got a nice little taste of. Hold up, this shit is a little harder than it looks. Yeah, sir. That gimmick fell flat. That gimmick almost cost Jazz. Like, what's going on here? You didn't need this, Jazz.
Between Benji Lolo playing Black Jesus and just having way too many bars, Jazz had an angle of how do I explain this? Like, she's talking about wearing a 4-finger ring and Charlie Clips's chocolate starfish. You know what I'm saying? And just like a whole bunch of like angles about backdoor play. And it's like, are you reading the room? Like, where's the ring IQ? Like, I don't think the women want to hear about this. The men don't want to hear about this. And it's just like, no kink shaming. If that's your twist, that's your twist. You know what I mean? But it's like, it was just like read the room, yo. Like it was just way too many bars about finger dexterity and playing with the trap door and stuff. And then after a while, I think it just kind of lost people. And Jazz is just way too creative for that. And should have just read the room better and just left that angle alone and just come with some gun bars or something, man. But man, and then the other half was like, "Yo, daddy's a snitch. Your daddy's a snitch, and your snitching ass daddy, and your daddy's a snitch. Your daddy's a tattletailer. Your daddy's a rat, and he's a snitch, and he's a snitching ass rat." And I'm like, "Damn, ain't Clips your friend?" Like, this joint reminded me of the P battle. I mean, not quite as bad because P went over the top for like 3 rounds of Yo Daddy's a Snitch. But I was like, I did not expect Jazz to like hit that angle, you know what I'm saying? Like that tough. And she went for it, you know what I'm saying? So between the 4 finger ring and the Kit Kat backdoor play, Black Jesus and Yo Daddy's a Snitch, it was like, wow, what happened?
Let me read you some of these quotes from Clips' post game interview. Clip
Yikes.
says, when he walked out on stage, Goods might have been the only person to have clapped for him, and Jazz got cheers from the crowd. I, I knew from that
Oh,
moment it was. I knew from that.
boo.
I, I knew from that moment it was going to be one of those nights. And
I
then
ain't
he
gonna
also,
the hate ain't gonna look good on Cam.
and then he also says, "Kings and Queens has always looked fun to me." All right, man. Let's just get to this, right? Charlie Clips. At this point, if you consistently give performances at this level, this is weaponized incompetence. Okay, you know what I mean? Like this is an attack on the culture, and you're one of my goats. In fact, like you, I will always give you flowers because of your run and what you've done. But like the Castro battle seems very far away. It's been four, 5, 6 performances since then. The Yoshi battle, the Calico battle, and these last four. So 4 battles since then. And then even prior to the Castro battle, you still have that beat out battle and a couple others that were borderline, like, you know what I'm saying? So like when you look through his last 6, 7 battles from P, beat out, Castro, Yoshi, Calico, Danny, and the sample size is leaning much towards you being disappointed or walking away not necessarily content with his performance than you are. Like the Castro battle at this point looks like an anomaly in the sample
It's a
size.
fantastic battle, man. I'm
It's a
like, and I'm just wondering, like, whoa, what's the like? Sometimes I really would love to delve into the psyche of like, why was that battle so good from Clips, and like, why are the others just kind of like, you know?
I think I think I think
uh,
I think if we pick through it, I'll say this, right? With the beat out battle, he was good halfway through the battle. Then obviously he messed up in the second, and then Champagne caught all of his freestyles at the end.
right,
That was fun.
right,
That was fun, but he was very good up until before that moment happened. That
right.
guy is a much more newer era MC. Then you get the Castro battle, fantastic. Obviously, Castro is a newer era MC. You know what I'm saying? Then you get the Yoshi battle. I think with Yoshi, he realized so much of a disparity between her experience and his.
Right,
He
that was more like a tutelage battle. You know what I'm
Yeah, that,
saying?
that that
Like
one is like I could be at 60% and I would have got it. I would have got the job done. I'm not even mad at that battle. You made a
that
moment
was
out of
more
it.
so like Yoshi. I'm here for you to try to do whatever you want to do. I'ma just give you like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Right,
give you
right.
something, but this is for you because I know clearly I'm head and shoulders. Like I'm not. I get it, but at the same time, I'm like,
Yeah,
you never know when it's gonna be your last battle. Like you don't want people to have the last memory of you like not giving your all and just standing there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but that performance I won't criticize too much. But then the Calico battle, that battle had me really like, what did I just watch? Like, it was the main event of like Volume, and it was just one of those like battles that's just like, all right, maybe this was way past the time that it was supposed to happen. Then the same could be said with him and Danny. That's a rematch, or Danny calls it a
That's a
trilogy,
3 match, son.
right? Danny calls it
It's
a
a third
trilogy,
rematch.
and then Jazz, you would
Second
think on
rematch.
with Jazz, you would think on paper two goats going at it should be great, but I'm looking at the battles that were the most lackluster between P, um, Calico, Jazz, and Danny. These are all people that he's known for a long time. They're not newer
Hmm.
era. They're not newer era people. They're not people that are really breeding into new blood, or people that are like going to overly
So he's just
salivate
too
at them.
familiar with these people that he's battling, and it just doesn't bring out the competitive nature in him. Think
That could be it. This is just me psychoanalyzing. I could be 100% wrong, but this is like me
analyze
looking at it.
this.
Right.
Hmm.
This is me looking at it from afar. It's just like, but Castro is like, oh shit, like we don't know what his ceiling is. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's coming off the best year of his career. He's one of the most talented rookies from that class alongside you. Like there's a lot of little things you can look at there and say, yeah, give me Castro. He actually asked for Castro. He asked for Castro,
Mm.
handpicked himself. And obviously you see the difference between that performance and all the rest. So I do think maybe there's some familiarity that doesn't allow him to get to that space. And then same occurs with his opponents because it's not like they're that spectacular neither across from him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. You know, when we spoke off air, France, I told you, man, I really thought this was gonna be a menagerie of messiness. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, we're gonna get a couple of times where Clips is like, oh, that was cool. He's gonna get into it with somebody in the crowd. He's gonna like freestyle a whole lot of content and just kind of like have connective tissue to keep loose floating material together. It's never gonna be amazing, but it's not gonna be like doo doo, but it's gonna leave us unsatisfied. And then his competition always looks weird when that happens, and then the battle's over and you're just kind of like, huh, like what happened here? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, it just brought the vibe down. It brought like the energy of the it brought my energy down, and I'm just kind of like, hold on, Clips, you're freestyling a lot of this stuff, which is in itself, don't get me wrong, like that's a supreme talent. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to freestyle throughout all three rounds and make it good enough that people kind of feel like this could be like some all right writtens to not so bad writtens for somebody. But for somebody of your nature, like, this is not enough. But for you to be able to freestyle what would be somebody's all right writtens is still kind of like crazy. You know what I'm saying? In a vacuum. You know what I mean? But when you're battling Jazz, like one of the greatest women of all time, and you know what, you're one of the greatest dudes of all time, and it's like you're letting the fans down, dog. It's like you just this is chicken chasing Charlie. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you got that chicken? I'm gonna come chase it. I'm gonna put it in my bank account. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna cash that check, and and it's gonna be that. And this is exactly what that battle was, man. And it's like for 3 rounds, and then it got weird because he had a whole thing about Jazz. You should write me a letter and thanking me and this and that, blah blah blah. And then Jazz had a whole like letter to Charlie Clips thing, and I'm like, what's going on here? The frequency in this battle is just like, I don't know, man. He found a way to make Jazz look not as amazing as she's been looking, and he just wasn't it, bro.
Let me ask you something.
Talk to me, big dog.
Did KCJ have a better performance than Jazz?
I feel like if we're breaking it down to what was written and the words, Jazz's words, bars, was still better, but I was gonna say Chasey. See, Charlie's messing me up, man. But at least Casey had a DNA that showed up and cared, was well prepared, and had good quality material. So even if, let's say, Jazz's material was, I'm just throwing out a number, 8 or whatever, right? In a vacuum, and Casey's is whatever, a 7 or something like that. Like her 7 versus what DNA did is going to look better than the 8 that Jazz had versus what Clips did, because that just made the whole battle look bad. So it's kind of like, it's like Jazz doesn't get a chance to be in her full groove because now she's looking at Clips like, really? This is what you bring into the battle? Like,
At one
for
point, yeah,
real?
at one point she looked visibly frustrated that this was the level Clips brought to the battle.
Right.
And I will say, I asked that question only because if you have to power rank the kings and the queens, I think you're putting Jazz in the fourth spot, man. You know what I mean? Like,
Yikes. Yeah. I mean,
that's not something I would have projected.
whew.
Something I would have projected going into the card. And
Mm,
I do feel like although we piled on clips a lot for this performance, this also feels like I'm gonna steal my man Jay Smo, staff writer Jay Smo. I'm gonna steal your words. This was a sequel to
shout
Jazz.
outs.
This was this is a sequel to Jazz and Geechee, the East Coast version, where I don't think I want to see Jazz versus guys like the Shuffle T battle. I know it might not count, but it's not a battle I really enjoyed when it happened. The Geechee
Nah.
battle, I think it fell short of expectations, but you know, a win is a win, and the same ordeal here fell short of expectations, far below that one. But at least she tied the score for the ladies. You can count on Jazz to tie the score because against Geechee, the Queens was down 3-2, and Geechee had a chance to clinch the series, or Jazz had a chance to tie it up. So you put this is game 6 Jazz to take it to game 7. Whether it's ugly or not, she gonna get you to win. But
Listen, man, she
it was
gonna
still
find a way to win, man. She's like the female DNA, yo. DNA will find a way to win, and so will Jazz, man. So you can always count on her for that W. You know what I'm saying? But her versus some of these dudes is, I don't know, man. It ain't been the best. It hasn't been the best battles. I'll say that for sure. Has not.
yeah. I just
And
wanted to
it ain't, it ain't all her fault. You know what I'm
I
saying? But it does take two to tango.
Like I just wanted to say that only because I think it's important to highlight that she, I feel like when you have these bad battles, like you said, it takes two to tango. So like somebody also has to contribute to this abomination that we're watching. And it's important to highlight this because in 6 days she'll be battling again.
Yo, 6 days, she's battling RX, man. We haven't seen Jazz. I mean, we've seen her do, the next
That's
day thing.
Yeah, but
You
even then,
know,
that was with a partner, and it's a 1 round, so that's 4 rounds, right?
right.
And
This is
having
2 3 rounders.
this is
And she's got
two.
a, well, I mean, but she lives out there in the West Coast now. So she's flying back home. She'll be at home. She'll get a chance to, get her bearings back and all that stuff. So, and listen, man, if I'm RX, man, I'm trying to snap that neck, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You got to lay it all on the line,
I'm,
all on the line,
yo,
all on the line.
yo, RX, you better be practicing right now. You better be practicing every day.
Yeah,
Put the niños and the niñas to abuelita and you practice, all right? I won't see no choking, no stuttering, no stumbling. You better be prepared to work, all right? Because this is a big opportunity. And Jazz is looking vulnerable after this battle. But as she's looking vulnerable, Jazz is going to be looking to rebound. She's going to be putting you on the block. All right. So it's up to you to take full advantage of this because Jazz does not want to look bad in back to back battles. And she usually looks pretty darn good versus the women. I must say that, like
you was never
she don't have many bad
hey,
battles versus the women. Right?
you was not gonna get two bad Jazz games back to back. No. She,
No,
you know what I'm
she's not gonna
saying?
be your Charlie Clips. You know what I'm saying? Like she's ain't playing.
And against the ladies, best believe, ain't no problem there.
Nah, man. She's usually usually pretty damn dominant in her battles, yo. So RX be fully loaded, yo, for real.
Yeah, man. So main event of the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get to the shits, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
Face of URL, Mr. 50th battle himself. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Takes the stage to battle the first lady of URL, Miss
mm.
Hustler herself, potential Wody candidate. You know what I mean?
Potential
And
Cody candidate this year, boy. The way she's going at it.
man, Vlad, what did you think of Miss Hustle versus Tay Rock?
Are we keep it 100, friends? That's all we do over here, man. We keep it a
I
hundo.
we just keep it 8 more than 92.
Am I- the caffeine votes got it wrong, yo. Miss Hustle won this battle. Miss Hustle had the better material in this battle.
Mm-hmm.
She had the better performance in this battle.
Mm-hmm.
She had the better pen in this battle,
Mm-hmm.
the better delivery in this battle.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted this battle more,
Mm-hmm.
and she was better than Tay Rock in this battle, man. Like, you can argue that this battle was a 30, no body, but it just seemed like this was Pay Rock, man. He's like, it's my 50th. I just want to get this over with. It's the end of the night. Clips just took all the air out of this room. You know what I'm saying? It's damn near 10 o'clock now. The venue opened up at 1. You know what I mean? So the Degenerates was out there at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. waiting to get in. People were just tired, and it just seemed like he just wanted to get the night over with. The first round, it's like Rock wasn't even trying. It was just like remedial bars, man, just bars we've heard before, just nothing that was captivating or just like noteworthy. And then you had Hustle with her. You know what I'm saying? All her, all her hustleisms
I
and
hate I hate to interject. I just want to make sure we
what's
keep the
going in,
same.
kid?
I want to make sure we keep
What's
the
up?
same
What's up?
energy.
What's up?
Rock definitely has some OBCs. Miss Hustle was not far away from having those neither. However, the difference, like you said,
Okay.
her delivery and her performance is what's going to sell right on Rock like hieroglyphics. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna sell caliente. The rapping, the delivery, and the performance is going to make us feel those OBC because in the building it worked. It got a reaction. The crowd loved it. Us at home,
That
we're like
Caliente, yo, he
us
hating on
us
that
at home
Caliente
us at home,
ball.
we're like caliente. All right,
But it was dope. She said she's
hieroglyphics.
an EFB. She said I have my man, Geechee's from
Listen,
California. I have my man, from Cali and
I'm just,
Tay. It was a dope bar, man.
Vlad.
Why you hating?
Vlad, it's been said
Play it while
before.
you're hating. Play it while you're hating.
It's not that I'm hating. I'm actually just letting you know the difference. Like in Rock's OBC, there wasn't that much effort, passion, or like you said, emphasis in the way that he was delivering his raps in his first round. While Miss Hustle is on 100, regardless of it having OBC, which works. You know what I'm saying? So when you have momentum and it's delivered well, it's gonna register. I'm not taking any points away from it because obviously it worked. It registered. I have a win in the first round clearly. I just want to be sure that we keep it a buck. That they both had
Oh,
OBCs.
all right. OBC set aside.
Yeah,
The dope stuff that she did have was much better than Rock's
I
dope
agree.
material. You know what I'm
I agree.
saying?
I agree.
So it's like even if you take away both OBCs, the noteworthy stuff that she had was better than his noteworthy stuff.
Wait, but
You know what I'm saying?
Hustle did not have any moment in the battle that was better than this.
What the fuck? She thought I was gonna send her somewhere nice? You're not going to the beach, bitch. You're going to hell.
Hustle didn't say anything better than that. You're going to hell. You thought you was going to the beach?
Oh man, yo, Tay-Rock is crazy, man. Like, yo, when he be. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, that was pretty memorable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But getting back to the battle though, like she was just, she wanted the battle, man. She wanted the battle. It was just like she just wanted the battle, and she just won, man. Like, but but it was just a long night. It was just tiring, and you could tell, man. Like the audience was just drained, and I feel bad for Hustle because this is the second battle in a row. When she battled Shooney, obviously they made Hitman and Eazy go, next to last. They wanted to capture that crowd. They wanted to make sure everyone was still lively and give the people what they want. And then it was like, hey, don't forget about Hustle and Shooney. They still got to rap. And it's like, all right, we're still here. You know what I'm saying? And even in that battle, she still showed up, was 100%, had her bars, had her delivery, you know what I'm saying? Had some good writing. And this is like, I feel bad because it's back to back. Like, I want Hustle to get a live crowd, man, and really like get a chance to feel, once again, what it's like to have like the whole house here for you, have that energy where you can get that feedback, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
From everyone.
I'll take it a step further. This is really going to be her fourth battle going last because against Vixen, they had that really super dead crowd that they had to
But yeah,
fight
but the whole
through.
night was all
But
just
but
a
even that
cluster.
even the first Chrome 23 event against Couture, they went last after doors opened at 3 and we didn't get to that battle till like 9ish. You know what I'm saying? So like that's one thing I have to give her a ton of credit for, being able to amplify herself so that way she can keep her energy on 100%. And that's one of my favorite things about what she's done on this run is that she can self-charge herself. You know what I'm saying?
Self-motivated.
And so I wanted to ask you though, although I agree with you 100%. Caffeine was got it wrong. I had Miss Hustle. I when I watched that battle off my first watch, I thought that was a clear win.
Yeah. I don't know
now,
what the discussion was about. Like,
now let me take this a step further though. This is where it kind of fucked me up. I made a Twitter poll thinking, all right, maybe the Twitter poll is gonna have it where Hustle wins because on our radio show, everybody had Hustle winning. Tata and Titus told me in the building, everybody felt that Hustle won as well. Twork is winning our Twitter poll 76% to her 33.
No way.
Now I'm just like, you know what? She's right about like she's just disliked and the polls don't be in her favor. Because truth be told, like I always had to beat in Couture and Vixen despite her losing the fan votes and Twitter, social media polls to those battles. And I feel the exact same way here, but this time more than the others, I feel like this was actually the clearest version of her getting a win. I'm just like, damn, they're not even gonna give her that.
Damn.
I feel like she deserves it. I feel like the Queens kind of got robbed. Now they can't say they won the series. Sorry, Queens. You know what I'm saying? Another one bites the dust for y'all. But I really
no, that's a ball right there, kid. That's a ball, Fred. That was pretty sneaky, player. I'm sorry, Queen. Another one bites the dust. Doom. All right, Frenchie Mercury. Pause.
From time to time, I have these on deck, but I genuinely feel like she's supposed to win that joint, man. For real.
Yo, listen, man. I've been doing some media training myself for myself, and I told I spoke to you. I said, hey, we do these rappers a disservice when we go, I don't care what they're like, on social media, even though they may have a nasty attitude towards folks and they get back and forth with people. It really doesn't matter if people think that they're a bad person or, this person is a this or that or whatever. Like, when we do that, we perpetuate that and keep that in people's minds, and that's what they think about as they're thinking about the MC a lot of times, But when you see the poll says that, it's reflecting that she's not wrong. You know what I mean? Like she clearly won this battle. And it's not like it's 51-49. It's like 70 something. 20. Come on, man. Like this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care what you think about Miss Hustle off the stage. You got to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? With this performance, like she won. Like, why are people lying to themselves? Or is Twork's, is his fan base that ravenous that they won't let him lose this battle? Like, what's the deal?
I don't know, man. I think there's a little bit of hey, this is Twork's 50th battle going on in the building, you know what I mean? And everybody's kind of like ready to celebrate and commend him and really give him his flowers.
Eat that weed cake with him.
Hey, y'all want to eat his cake?
Hey, yo. That sounded crazy.
Smack was wild. Smack was like, yeah, y'all want some of his cake? Damn, Smack, hold on, man.
Smack was wild. He's like, Miss Hustle, Ash looking fat. looking fat, baby.
Looking good, girl.
Yo, Shooney came out there. He's like, Shooney in there, yellow, good. I'm like, and Fetty's right there. I'm like, she's got a whole husband on the stage. Smack,
Yeah, nah, I did,
Smack was in full horn dog mode,
but maybe
kid.
maybe there was a little bit of that, just allure and love of like, it's Tay Rock's
Yeah.
day, you know what I mean, and that could have definitely played some part into it. And I will honestly say, I don't feel like Miss Hustle cleared the margin in any other round like she did in her first. I still have her winning the
I
battle.
thought
Don't
the
get it
third was
twisted,
clear too.
but I don't think that there was as wide of a victory margin as the first.
Okay, yeah, okay, I can agree with that, but it was like,
It wasn't close enough for me to be like she won. I mean, she lost. I don't agree with it. I still think it's a little crazy, to be honest. I don't see it. I'm actually seeing a few people that I respect. Shouts to Ethan over at the Riot and a couple other people in
yeah,
the media have Tay-Rock 2-1. And these are people that I actually respect. I'm just like, hold on, man. He won the fan vote. He's winning our vote. When I talk to people on the Radio Roulette show, nobody had him winning, but some
yeah.
people in media have him winning. So I'm just like, is this really a debatable? And I watched it back, and I didn't feel that way at all. But I don't know. I don't see it, Vlad. I didn't see it personally speaking. I don't see
I
it.
don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I mean, it is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? Like people say, "Hey, man, the final vote for the caffeine chat poll is who determines the winners." So
They got to live by it, because if Miss Hustle would have won, y'all would have been claiming, y'all would have been bragging about it.
live by, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
But see, but this is whack, because when you go into 2023, Wody, they're gonna be like, but she lost this battle to Tay-Rock. It's a clear loss on paper.
Hey, listen,
And
let me tell
I'm
you,
like,
no, I got you.
what are we doing?
Let me tell you what they've been telling me. They're like,
Oh,
we don't care about the votes. We're going by our opinions. All right, because
oh,
Coffee,
word. Oh, now they go by their opinion.
yeah, because
Okay.
I remember when Coffee battled T-Top on caffeine. Even though she won on the app, she
Yeah.
lost on caffeine. She lost
Right.
in real time. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't care. They then gave her Wody off that battle. So they're looking at it like, all right, they're like splicing it. And I think everybody in the culture, probably the consensus of it. You can't even say the consensus because the numbers don't agree with this. Like you can't say the consensus from any of these social media caffeine numbers, because they're not going to agree with your evidence. And it's just like,
So now it has to be a live human, non-chat GPT, like voting system has to say, this person won or that person won for it to be counted.
this is where
Has to be human votes
this is where things have changed
in
for
real
me.
life.
This is where things have changed for me in my allure for the numbers, because there's been many times that I stick aside it, or there's times I don't agree with it, but I still respect it.
Because the numbers usually tell something with some nuance, but this is just wrong. Like there's no nuance here. Like
I feel that way. I feel like this is one of the handful of times that I'm just like, this is just flat out wrong. Just wrong. Like this is a really far left example, but like Real Sick is beating Stumbles on the app, but Stumbles has more reactions, and I can look at that and say, yo, it did feel like people wanted Stumbles to win more. You know what I'm saying?
No, not only that, but it could be a situation like, all right, take that battle for instance. Maybe people could feel like, hey man, Stumbles material, he had more highs, he had more stuff that was intriguing to me, but because he was, not as clean, was sloppy, was, choking, cutting his round shorts, this, that, and the third, not real deal, Real Sick wins the battle. You know what I'm saying? That can make sense. I can understand that. Like, it's like, imagine if Rum Nitty is going crazy doing what Rum Nitty does, but he chokes in 2 rounds. The other guy automatically wins the battle, but Rum Nitty could have, his reactions could be off the charts. That's possible. But like, for her to be losing, whatever, 75-25 is just like, this just doesn't even make sense, dog.
I can't fathom it. I'll be honest with you. I can't fathom it.
Oh no, man.
But did you hear?
Rob Boo Boo.
Did you hear Smack? When he was giving Tay-Rock his flowers, like, give me 50 battles. I need 50 more. I need 50 more.
Yo, Smack's wilder.
When they say I need 50 more battles, I just thought about this clip here.
My CTE acting
up. Imagine Rock's brain after 50 more URL battles.
No, man. No, listen. I ain't gonna lie, man. When they Smack was like, stick around for after, I was like, oh, what they gonna do? Like, what we gonna get some big announcement? Like, what's happening? I'm like, is Surf gonna like pop out and congratulate Rock? Like, what's happening right now? You know what I'm saying? And they brought out the balloons, the big 50 for Rock. They brought out, some cake for him, and the cake lady came out with her cake, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cake all weekend, man.
I mean, yams was yamming, boy. And then shout out to that cake lady. And
Shout
I'm
out.
like
Yeah.
shout out to no. But I'm like, okay, are they gonna give Rock like a $50,000 check or something like that? Or are they gonna name him, some type of vice president of something at URL or something like that? The Smack's just like, yo, thank you, you know what I'm saying? Can't wait to give 50 more battles, Sean. I was like, hey, all right, man, But, Tay Rock's like, hey, man, don't y'all worry. The URL family is definitely taking care of me, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, cool, you know what I'm saying? Because I definitely wanted to see something of that nature, like, yo, give that man a big old check or something like that, or something, or a position in the company, something of that nature. But for him to say he's well taken care of, he's very happy, they're making sure everything is all right with him, that's more than enough for me, because there's no one flying that flag harder for that company, putting it on the line. He takes every battle that they ask him to take. There's starting to become a little wear and tear here and there. You know what I'm saying? The mileage starting to show a little bit from last year, even though he did finish second, you know what I'm saying, in the champion of the year running. But it's still like, there's moments. And he said it himself after this battle, like, yo, I'm going to take a break. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I definitely feel like he definitely needs it, because this battle showed it. Like, he just was like, how's it tired, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to go home and go to sleep. Like, I just want to chill,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And just like relax for a hot second. Cause he's been mad busy, and he's had to fly that flag pretty high. And now, with Eazy jumping off ship, you know what I'm saying? And hopping out the car at 100 miles per hour, it's kind of like, what you gonna do, Rock? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna fly that flag some more? And it's like, yo, he's gotta like recharge the batteries and get that feel, like, all right, man, now I'm really ready to kill something 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he deserves that. He's put in his time, he's put in his bid. He's one of the few MCs, man, that's had 50 or close to 50 battles on URL, and it was dope to see him get recognized for that.
50 battle watch alert.
Oh, snap. The ill stat of the week.
Yeah. I'm going to verify this one because I believe there's a battle with Rum Nitty that's not been released, but I think he's at 49.
Oh.
Chance to celebrate him. Suge actually surpassed 50. Suge is actually at he has 54.
No cake for Suge?
No cake for Suge.
Yo, Suge, man. Suge.
Yeah.
Oh, they gonna wait for him to get to 60? Yo, URL. If Suge don't get a cake on a 60th battle, man. Oh no, Suge. You know what I'm saying?
We got
join that Easy train.
We got JC at 48. Wow.
JC. Better give you a cake, dog.
Danny Myers at 47.
Danny. Better give you a cake, dog.
DNA at 47.
DNA.
With a caveat.
What's the caveat?
Do you count those BET battles for URL battles or not?
I mean, not for me personally. You know what I'm saying? I don't really count them.
Okay, so let's not count them so that he could be at 47. Because if you count them,
yeah, those are not real battles. Yeah, I
just want to say that if you count them, that means his 50th battle also took place that night too.
He ain't get no cake.
So let's not count them for him.
You're I was like, listen, man, this budget cuts happening. We can only afford one cake. All right.
So
I kid. Please don't take away my my app subscription. Please don't cancel me, man.
T Top at 43. So we might gotta start making this 50, 40, 30 club.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Might
to all
gotta,
you thieving ass quote unquote media platforms out there, you know what I'm saying? Don't bite our style. Don't start making your own. Oh, this guy's got 40. This guy's got 30. Let us do the stats. Y'all do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Copy what we do after we do it. You know what I'm saying? So good luck on the ill stat of the week, friends, man. You know, once a week we come with the ill stats. You know what I'm saying? And wow. So Tay Rock is not the only guy with 50 battles. But he's the only guy to get celebrated for his 50 battles.
Yeah, once we make that list, it's gonna be real interesting.
I can't wait.
Where's my cake?
It's gonna be feathers ruffled everywhere. Listen, man, we just keep track of the numbers and put them out there. What happens afterwards is not our fault, but we will take all the traffic at LTBR Podcast. You guys can go there to find all of our stats, go through our media section. We got tons of gems and stuff like that. So go check it out, man.
Well, I'll let you close the show with this. If you got a minute or two, give your
yeah, I'm here.
Because last week, you know what I'm saying, we did some oracling, we did some context clues, we did some detective work. You know what I'm saying? We was looking at that divide and conquer 2 flyer and said that hand looks too clear to be a black man's hand.
That's not a black man's hand, man.
It's not a black man's hand, and we were correct on our predictions. Murda Mook versus Bigg K was announced on RB. Yes. It was breaking news on Friday. That battle is legitimately over 6 weeks away. We're going to talk about it ad nauseum when it gets a little bit closer. So just initial reactions now that we know our prediction came real.
Oh, listen, man. This is going to be a race war. Like, I want to keep an unofficial count of the votes for the Caucasoid MCs and the votes for the melanated MCs out there. See who's voting for who. Who's going to think who's going to win? Because I really feel like we're going to get to see this real right wing, left wing, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing going on, you know. And I already see it happening, friends. You know what I'm saying? This is going to cause a division in the community of battle rap. And we're going to get to see Rodney is definitely dividing and conquering with this one. You know what I'm saying? Nothing gets the people talking like a good old race bait battle. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we've got right now. And I already see the rumblings happening. I'm you know, reading into some tweets, reading into some quotes, and it's beginning. So this lets me know that it's going to get very, very interesting. It's going to make for an interesting battle, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that I was like super hyped for this battle once it really got announced. I was like, but then again, you know, RBE has announced some battles where I'm like, I wasn't the most hyped for it, but the battle came out to be fire, you know, with nothing for me to complain about. So I'm hoping that this is one of them where it's like, you know what, exceeds my expectations. Both MCs are incredible and I have nothing to complain about. Once again, they've done that in the past. You know what I'm saying? So my reaction is kind of like, oh, all right, you know, I'm never going to pass up on a Mook battle. You know, Bigg K's last battle, he was phenomenal. So I'm hoping for something spectacular, but this wasn't the battle that I wanted to see. But they have made it happen before where a battle I thought was going to be, you know. So what about you?
Got an angler versus a puncher in the blue room. and that's as fundamental as I'm gonna get until I really narrow down how I feel about it. I want to talk to Van or the Mook's manager. I want to pay
Yeah.
attention to some of the quotes and tweets and reports and interviews that happen along the way. The one thing that did stand out to me though was that Bigg K said, let me pull this up. Bigg K told ARP, end quote, I want to 30 Murda Mook and change the culture. I want to change history and the perception of today's battle rap. And I feel like
Word?
that is a very deep layered like goal. Like so there's a deep layered quote there that
Wow.
I want to dissect a little bit more when it's time to.
Wow. Hey man, we just gotta wait till May for this one. But France from here to May, watch the two races. Watch these tweets, boy. A lot of people gonna be showing their ass, man, and showing their hand. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna pay attention to it.
Just keep track, buddy. A lot of Adam 22s floating around there. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna start exposing themselves one by one. When they do, we'll kick them out the car. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
All right, man.
A lot of Adam deuces, a lot of Adam 88s, man. You know what I'm saying?
We can put a ribbon on it there.
Hey, man. If you made it this far into the show, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for riding with us. You know what I'm saying? As you always do, our faithful and loyal listeners. You know, everyone, like I always say, check out letstalkbattlerap.com. That recap article will be out, you know what I'm saying, tomorrow. And as always, follow us on all platforms at LTBR Podcast. You got any questions? You got any suggestions, segments you want to hear? Any way we can make this show better? You can always email us at letstalkbattlerap@gmail.com. And if you made it this far and you felt like, you know what, man, this was worth my time and it made my day a little bit brighter, and I want to, you know what I'm saying, contribute to the show, amen, $ LTBR Podcast. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like it. If you don't, thank you for the listen. It's all good. And until next week, we take nothing for granted. We don't take this show for granted. We really thoroughly enjoy doing this show from the bottom of our hearts, from us to you, from me to you. You know what I'm saying? France, till next week, player. Can't wait to do this again, man. Peace. Das Vidania.